Live from clickorlando.com, News 6 Plus, and WKMG. We're getting results in your neighborhood now at 6:30 p.m.
Good evening. This is News 6 at 6:30, getting results. Thank you so much for joining us here live on News 6 Plus. I'm Ginger Gadsden.
And I'm Justin Mormouth. Parts of Central Florida continue to deal with the impacts of Hurricane Milton, and in some communities, the most pressing issue is that ongoing flooding.
Yeah, but one area where that historically has been a problem, it's seeing the results of efforts to turn things around. So this is what the Orlo Vista area in Orange County looked like in 2022 after Hurricane Ian brought devastating flooding to that area.
And this is what that exact same area looked like after Hurricane Milton. Between the two storms, Orange County put in a lot of work, dredging 3 nearby retention ponds so they could hold more water. Tonight, News 6's Laverne McGee took a tour of the neighborhood to see how the county got results.
I'm here with Orange County District 6 Commissioner Mike Scott at a very important place here in Orlo Vista.
We're at the Orlo Vista Flood Mitigation Project, and we made it. 6 to 8 feet of water in people's homes about 2 years ago, and today that's not the case. You see these ponds, we got 3 ponds here, upwards of 10 feet deep, and the water remains in the ponds and not in their homes, so I'm happy.
I'm glad. I saw the video from years ago when the streets were completely flooded. Why is this so successful?
Well, we have a team here. It's part listening to the community, getting federal funding, state funding, and county funding, but also just really putting this project on a timeline and getting it done and updating the community monthly.
Commissioner Scott also took us on a tour of the neighborhood here in Orlo Vista. Hard to believe that this was flooded 2 years ago.
About 2 years ago is where the fire trucks were all staged here. We had a boat, and so this once was a street entrance. It was a beachhead. The water was as high as that sign right there. You could only see the top of that sign.
Really?
And you see the folks were even still concerned that they pray for us because they really thought that they were going to be underwater again.
They were so scared for Milton that they thought it would be devastating again.
Yes.
They must be so thankful that it worked. So what's next?
What's next? Well, we have a lot of federal dollars that are coming in for other projects, so it's having a series of community meetings. We have one coming up tonight to understand what else is needed to make these people whole.
Laverne McGee, Getting Results, News 6.
Now, a number of communities are still dealing with flooding concerns. Volusia County tells us they opened 2 sandbag stations for anyone living along or near the St. Johns River who may be impacted by rising water levels. And one in DeLand is open from 9 until 3, and another in Enterprise is open from 9 to 5. Residents may take up to 10 sandbags per household.
Flooding was a big concern across much of Volusia County. That includes New Smyrna Beach. Sky 6 was over the NSB area Friday. You can see those streets got pretty flooded from Hurricane Milton.
But people in that community got a hand recovering today from a pretty familiar face.
That's right. Miami Dolphins running back Raheem Mostert went back to his hometown to give out food and gifts to people in his community. News 6's Molly Reed was there for the whole thing.
Hundreds of people showing up today. The line was wrapped around the block of the community center here with people waiting to get in. People affected by that hurricane getting some much needed relief.
There's a lot of people that are just hurting in our community right now. A lot of flooding, a lot of people still without power, and the fact that he was able to come back to his hometown and do this is really, it's a blessing.
How you doing?
And what about the storm made you want to come back home?
Hurricane Milton was something that, was pretty catastrophic in Central Florida. It was technically a Category 2, but there's still people that need some help, so I just wanted to come back and give some relief.
Miami Dolphins running back Raheem Mostert returning to his roots once again to give back to the community. We saw him just 2 years ago with the post-pandemic toy drive for New Smyrna Beach children right after creating his Waves of Success Foundation. And today, he rolled in a U-Haul once again, stocked with post-hurricane goods for a city still picking up the pieces.
I want to just be able to provide essentials to everybody, so that was my biggest thing.
Giving out non-perishable foods, baby and cleaning supplies, water, and of course, a few signatures.
Everybody seems to be happy, have a good smile, a good attitude and stuff like that, and that's all you ever want to see, right? Is a good positive, role model coming back and helping out in the community.
In New Smyrna Beach, I'm Molly Reed, Getting Results, News 6.
those smiles.
Oh, yeah. Great football player, even better person. Great job, Raheem Mostert. And this is just the latest instance of people in Volusia County coming together to get results for others impacted by the storm. In fact, yesterday, Molly brought us the story of a Volusia County foodie Facebook group that's coming together to raise donations for supplies and working with restaurants to donate thousands of meals, hot meals, to people in need.
That is key. I mean, things you just take for granted until something like this happens, but then you see the community rally. And
great to see.
Yeah.
Great to see. Unfortunately, when you have these circumstances, you do see the best coming out of people at the same time. So it gives you that balance and restores your faith in humanity.
You just wish it didn't take a disaster
I know.
to have this happen.
I know. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, and those river levels are going to continue to go.
They are, unfortunately, and that's the painstaking thing if you live along the St. John's. You've been down this just 2 years ago where not only has it flooded, which is bad enough, it just takes forever for these water levels to recede. And while we are going to get some relief in terms of the cooler air coming, it's going to turn windy. And that wind is going to push back on the St. John's as well and just keep things just elevated. So we do need to remember that while it is going to be comfortable, it is going to aggravate the flood situation a little bit further along the St. John's. Made it to 87 degrees today at the Orlando International Airport, a couple of notches above where we should be for this time of the year. Things are going to change big time. We were talking about that cold front, the first big one of the season. That slices through overnight tonight and early tomorrow. Right now, we're back to 86 in Orlando, still warm in Winter Haven. We are at 86, 81 in Melbourne, Cocoa Beach. Good evening. We are checking in at 80 degrees. It's all about the dew point. Again, that's the most important number. We can see the changes happening right now. See where it's kind of dark green? We have dew point temperatures in the 60s and 70s. That puts us into that humid category again. Like that scale there to kind of show you the reference point. Look into Palm Coast. We're at 63, Gainesville at 60, and then you see the color way up by where it says dew point, but the banner there, where it's kind of gray, that is that cooler, drier air that's going to spill in tomorrow. That window opening weather arrives tomorrow and really continues through the weekend. We're going to talk much more about that, guys, coming up in about 10 minutes.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Jonathan. You can get pinpoint weather on the go, plus use live interactive radar with our free News 6 Pinpoint Tracker app. Just search WKMG in your app store. All right, let's take a look at what's trending right now on Central Florida's #1 news website, clickorlando.com. A lot of you still interested in my Boomtown report from yesterday. Recent census data showing Leesburg's population jumped more than 9% from 2022 to last year. That doesn't happen often, so I looked into why so many people are moving there. What's happening? Well, the reason actually lies outside of Leesburg. You can find out how the Villages is driving up the population of Leesburg by going to clickorlando.com.
Very popular. And here are some of the other trending stories right now over at clickorlando.com. This one is a question one of our viewers sent into traffic safety expert Trooper Steve. Is it legal to leave your hitch on your vehicle even if you are not towing anything? I run into a lot of those. Not with my car, but just with my leg, just walking. Mess up. Yeah, the short answer, yes, it is. But Steve says it depends on one big factor. And finally, another supermoon is going to be over the Florida sky this weekend. Head online to find out when the best time will be to see it. You'll know it. You won't be able to miss it.
That's true. I like a good supermoon. And we have these blue, beautiful clear skies as well. If I could spit it out, a lot easier said. But anyway, yeah, enjoy that supermoon. Yeah. Well, we are 3 weeks out from Election Day, and local elections officials are hitting the ground running in a unique way this year. So they're working to ease concerns some voters have about the elections process this year, how they're working to turn anxieties into optimism.
And it's a historic mission deep into our solar system, and a local woman helped to make it all happen. What she hopes people will take away from her story.
You're watching News 6 at 6:30, live on News 6 Plus. We're getting results in Claremont, Oakland, and all of Central Florida. Keep it here.
Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Your Tuesday evening traffic alert. Look, the storms are gone. A lot of the debris has been picked up. It's time to put the construction back. 417 north and southbound, we will see some active construction out there. No major stuff till towards the end of the week, but out here on 429 as well, lane closure southbound as you approach the Florida Turnpike. I'm Trooper Steve with your News 6 traffic alert. Drive safely. I'll catch you in the morning.
All right, let's take you outside. Look at this beautiful sunset over Daytona Beach. This is from our Daytona Toyota DeLand Kia camera. It doesn't get any better than that. The sky is just such a beautiful orange color there. That looks like pumpkin spice right there. Fall.
And so, yeah,
fall's going to be in the air soon.
I was going to say something in the orange tells me that we have fall to ring in, meteorologist Jonathan Kegas. A little bit of that, a little bit of fall.
Oh, there's a lot.
The closest thing that we can get to this time of year.
No doubt about it. We may not have the leaves changing to falling, but okay, what's your top ingredient or top thing to eat when it gets cool outside?
Chili.
Chili. Gotta be chili.
Yeah, raided the Publix for some ground turkey.
Yeah.
That's about to be made.
Oh,
Heck
see,
yeah.
you too, right?
Her recipe.
Oh.
This recipe, she's
Okay,
got the recipe.
we got it.
I don't want to say, but I want to know.
I was going to say you won the chili. I was going to say you won the chili thing. I believe
it's award-winning.
I believe I voted one of my votes for
Thank
yours.
Thank you. Only one though.
Well,
3 chances.
Well, there was another one. It was a chicken chili.
Oh, yeah,
we could go on forever, so we just split the difference. Anyway, it's going to be really nice over the next few days.
I'm going to make some.
If you do, there you go. So you just made forecast the weather here, and we give you your grocery list going forward. You're getting a lot of stuff here at News 6. Okay, anyway, the weather. This is why you're actually watching, I think. 78 degrees in Daytona Beach. New Smyrna, we're checking in at 79. 86 in Kissimmee, we're at 86 in Orlando. It was a touch more humid today, and that was what we were expecting ahead of a strong cold front. We shift our winds out of the south a little bit, pumping in some of that extra moisture from the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean. But then tomorrow, our winds shift back in. Look at this. Okay, so our front is hanging tight in North Florida toward the Panhandle. It's 74. In Jacksonville, it's at 79. Look at where the core of that chilly air is. We're back to the mid-50s. 50s in Nashville. Some of that air, anyway, is going to plunge down the peninsula as we move over to the next few days. Look at this. Okay, so tomorrow, we're going to get back into the mid-60s to start your day. This is to start the day. That's right where we should be for this time of the year. A touch cooler as that front crosses us first in Gainesville, Ocala, Palm Coast, Bunnell, getting into Marineland and Daytona Beach. It's really going to be once we get into Thursday morning. That's going to be the huge payoff. For that, here's a look at your pinpoint. Accurate forecast.
Your forecast is sponsored by Florida Lottery.
Temperatures tomorrow going to get back into the low to mid 70s. We are going to have some extra clouds in play tomorrow. That'll help to keep the temperatures down, relatively speaking. Again, one of the cooler days we have seen in a very long time. Here's a live look for us in Port Canaveral, Brevard County with our Launch Credit Union camera. A little hazy out there right now. Temperatures back to the upper 70s under a mainly clear sky. The breeze at about 8 miles an hour. Here's the deal with the timeline. So 6 o'clock tonight, we're going to be in and out of a few clouds, maybe a stray shower popping back up over the next hour or two. They are light, they are few and far between, certainly not going to aggravate the flood threat by any means. Here we go at 6 o'clock in the morning. I do think we're going to wake up to a few extra clouds, and then we're going to increase those clouds a little bit, and still the opportunity for a few of those teeny tiny showers, maybe a little bit of mist in there. This is as that front is coming through to change things up a little bit. There's 4 o'clock on our Wednesday evening, still the gray on your screen here. Note the sharp clearing line, sunny toward Gainesville, cloudy still for us into the Villages, and then it's on Thursday where we start to get some sunshine back. Big deal here. If you like astronomy, you likely already know about this, but there is a comet in our sky. It's a naked eye comet. It's really, really faint, so you have to look really hard, but find Venus. That's going to be easy to find. It's a big, bright dot in the sky. It's one of the brightest objects we have. Tonight, the comet is going to be right about here in between Venus, and then there's going to be a very twinkling star just beneath it and to the right. So that's where you're going to look and let your eyes adjust for about 15 minutes, and then you might see that faint tail and then that bright dot of the comet. Again, you're going to be looking to the west pretty much after sunset, in between that 7:30, 8 o'clock, 8:15 time frame. The deal with this is it does get higher into the sky over the next few days, but it also gets dimmer. It is going further and further away from the Earth, never to be seen or heard from anybody alive again. It has an 80,000 year orbit, give or take, so we're going to not see this one ever again. Here's what it looks like. Again, got a couple of pictures into clickorlando.com/pins. If you snap a picture, head there, submit it. This is from Marsh and Claremont. You can see the faint tail there. This is a really cool shot there. And again, that's just hanging out in our sky. Go out there and see it. It's really, really cool. 74 degrees tomorrow, mid-70s on Thursday, back to the 80s, but it will turn really windy over the weekend, guys.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. And results 2024 tonight. We are just 3 weeks away from Election Day.
Snuck up on us a little bit, right? And there are some important dates to keep in mind between now and then. So if you want to get a ballot in the mail, you still have just over a week to get that request in. And early voting opens up a week from Saturday. That runs for 1 week, ending on the Saturday before the election. And with the election day so close, News 6 investigator Lewis Bolton sat down with the people who run our local elections.
Yeah, it is rare to have them all together, and Lewis will have a series of reports on different election-related topics between now and Election Day. So today's roundtable tackles election integrity and how they're working to turn voter anxiety into optimism.
This was a candid conversation that we're going to show you a portion of. We sat down with the supervisors of elections for 5 Central Florida counties. Alan Hayes from Lake County has held his post for 28 years. In Osceola County, Mary Jane Arrington has been there 16 years. In Seminole, Chris Anderson has been on the job 5 years. Lisa Lewis has been in the Volusia office for 18 years, 8 as the supervisor. And finally, in Orange County, Glenn Gilzine was appointed by the governor and has been on the job for 7 months. They all shared their hopes and concerns about the upcoming election. Describe your overall feeling about the November election in 1 word. Supervisor Hayes.
Could have used 2 words.
No. Use 2.
Extremely important.
Not only important, but exciting, because a lot of choices are going to be made.
Exciting. Supervisor Anderson?
I am concerned about the apathy of voters. You know, when they think about participating in the elections, listen, the magnitude of your participation determines the magnitude of change, because we saw a decrease in turnout from 2016 to 2020. Am I going to see another decrease in turnout, or is it going to be an increase? So I'm curious to see how voters are going to respond to the candidates that are on the ballot.
The 1 word is optimistic. And the reason why, I got to give a shout out to my predecessor. Bill Cowers left an amazing team. We have over 425 years worth of experience.
1 word.
I'm going to go 2. Just
okay.
Like
okay.
I would say exciting and anxious. You know, there's a lot of people that are anxious about what the results are going to be and the turnout and how the turnout's going to be.
Are you anxious?
I'm a little bit, just because of the atmosphere that is in our time right now in elections. You know, there are threats made to election workers. You know, the campaigners seem to be getting more and more aggressive with trying to get their message out. And it is a little anxious feeling sometimes, because you don't know what is going to happen on Election Day.
Have any of you been threatened?
I've received death threats in the past, yes.
Okay.
There's been, I wouldn't say that they are threats so much, but they're alluding to that. You know, we've had some letters, we've had some emails and phone calls.
Intimidation.
It's intimidation, exactly. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. So there's been a little bit. It's not as much as rampant it is in even a lot larger counties than what we have in this area. It's more rampant there, but you know, there's still that feeling, and you have election workers that are anxious about it also, and what may happen. And that's hard to calm that fear a little bit, so that we do have election workers and that we're still here for the democratic process, the republic. You know, we're here so that elections are safe and secure. That's what we want. We want people to register, to vote, us to count the votes. We present the results.
You know, we all saw the vitriol after the 2020 election cycle, and it's continuing till present day, and that's where the threats came from. So, you know, the anxious, I think, is a great description. You know, there's anxiety for voters and for our election workers that we have to deal with.
And to see the full conversation, you can go to clickorlando.com/results2024. Getting results, I'm Lewis Bolden, News 6.
Now, the upcoming election is the topic of our poll today. You can take out your phone and scan the QR code you see right there on your screen. It'll take you to clickorlando.com/react. We want to know how you plan to vote in November, early, by mail, or in person on Election Day. Right now, most of you are saying that you're going to vote by mail. 84%. You do it early, you get it done, you mail it in. Election day, you can just sit back and relax.
And not to mention, when you do the mail-in ballot, you have the access of your smartphone, your computer.
Yes,
I know you can probably
everything.
do that in the booth, but you can take your time and not feel pressured. Bottom line, no matter how you plan to vote, just vote.
Just do it.
Exercise your right. And you can watch an extended conversation with elections officials tonight at 7. It is streaming right here on News 6 Plus and clickorlando.com. Coming up after the break, we've got a big contest right now on clickorlando.com that we need you to weigh in on.
It is really important. Plus, the Central Floridian hoping to inspire the next generation of space scientists and explorers. When News 6 at 6:30 continues, stay with us. We're back in 2.
Coming up in the morning, a big new development up for a vote in one part of Orange County.
There's just one problem. The school district says it doesn't have the room. What it could mean when it comes to plans for hundreds of new homes.
And your pinpoint weather and traffic every 10 minutes. We'll see you for News 6 Morning starting at 5.
So NASA's largest spacecraft ever built is on a nearly 2 billion mile journey to Jupiter's moon called Europa. Yesterday, we showed you the moment it launched right from our Space Coast.
Quite a bit of a ride.
It's a bit.
Before that launch, though, the Orlando Science Center hosted a special event on all things Europa. News 6's Julie Broughton introduces us to a Lake Brantley grad, shout out Lake Brantley, who's now a systems engineer for the Europa Clipper mission and is hoping to get results in our schools.
Weekends at the Orlando Science Center are typically pretty busy.
Hi there. Would you like to come to our NASA exhibit? Come on in here, let me show you.
But on this particular Saturday,
So the spacecraft is 100 feet long, so it's as big as a basketball court.
there's a little extra excitement.
So I'm an engineer and I work at NASA and I work on this project, this mission that you're seeing here. We're sending a spaceship out to Jupiter.
The Science Center's Founders Room turned into a pop-up exhibit of all things Europa.
It's got this rocky seafloor and then all of this water.
Jupiter's largest moon.
Well, thanks everyone so much for being here. My name is Jenny Kampmeyer.
Jenny Kampmeyer is a science systems engineer at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in California.
We discovered that underneath the ice of Europa is a global saltwater ocean.
She's been working on the Europa Clipper mission for 5 years.
So that means that I basically sit kind of right on the boundary between the science team and the engineering team, and I kind of help them work together. We all have the same goal of getting to Europa and exploring this incredible place. But sometimes we don't always have the same language to talk about these things.
Kampmeyer says part of what excites her about her job is sharing her love of space.
And I love Europa, I love the science. It's incredible to see people also getting excited about it, maybe learning about it for the first time, maybe someone who is also kind of a super fan but learned something new today.
Yes, Yes.
And I love to see the excitement from everyone who's this tall to this tall.
So what do you want to do when you grow up?
I want to be an astronaut
And why were you excited to come here today?
because I have an interest in space and I want to see what's beyond this solar system.
We never quite know what the thing is that's going to spark someone's imagination and send them on a path to becoming an astronaut or to be working at NASA or working as a science teacher, right? And so if I can give back a little bit in that way, you know, I've had plenty of people in my life that inspired me, and so to be able to potentially give that back to somebody else is a really special and privilege to be able to do that.
Bravo to her.
Absolutely. 5.5 years before that mission reaches Europa. So some of those kids, little ones we saw right there.
Bingo. By the way, that was Julie Broughton reporting. Hey, there's just about 2 weeks left until Halloween. So question is, do you have your costume ready? Do you have your kids' costume
Your
ready?
pets' costumes ready. Okay, so we're asking our viewers to help make a costume decision for us because we can't do it. And when you see the pictures, you'll know why. It's News 6 digital editor Haley's baby's first Halloween, and we want to know what you think little Reese should be dressed up as. Is it a dinosaur, a dragon, chicken, or a lion? Lion by far. Look, he's roaring. My
I know,
goodness.
yeah.
You can head to clickorlando.com/firsthalloween to cast your vote. The poll will be open for 10 days, and we'll announce the winner on October 28th, and little Reese will wear that costume. Look, okay, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
I'm seeing the lion. The lion is great. I'm not saying the lion's not great, but I had the chance, and it was really a pleasure to watch some of those pictures being taken. So I got to see the outfits in person. I will tell you, in person, the dragon one was my favorite. Has the wings on the back.
Yeah.
You can't really the
that's a
wings
game
on the
changer.
back was a bit of a game changer for me. I'm gonna
Did
go
that
with
dragon lay an egg? No. That lion is roaring.
The lion is great. And that picture that Reese took for the lion,
So
spectacular. But I think I might, and I'm going to be in the minority, I think the lion's a runaway win.
You know what? Just vote, Justin. Just vote.
I will vote.
What are the
I'll
odds?
get that vote in. The odds?
No.
The lion's minus 500.
All right.
Thanks for watching News 6 at 6:30. Stream News 6 online anytime on our News 6 Plus Smart TV app.
But I think I'm going to go plus 250.
There you go.
You guys are the
Smart
worst.
money, smart money.
Bye.